Evening, John. We're gonna see if we can capture the Chinese space station and the International Space Station. Both will be passing by this evening. Chinese space station at 9:47. International Space Station 10:14. I have a new guide scope on the big rig, which we may or may not use. So we'll be putting things together quickly to get ready. Well, looks good right now, the Skycam. I'll give it a few minutes and then we'll see how bad it gets. I've been at a loss for a solution. There is enough heat generated in the sensor, but it does not seem to be helping. So we'll see. With the big scope out, we're going to try again for some of the comets, but priority is going to be the space stations. Spent some quality time the other night aligning and collimating the scope. I'm reasonably happy with what it does. Unfortunately, we're still suffering from the problem of the guide scope not guiding. PhD2 is not driving the telescope for some reason. Okay, CPWI. Net connection. Mount USB. Unpark. And Altair is out there. As you can see from DWARF 3, hi Bell. It's gonna be a stellar sky tonight. I'm looking forward to it actually. We expect clear sky for the next 4 days in a row. Sleep be damned. Tonight I'll be attempting something I've not done in a long time, and that is capture the Chinese space station. It's going to be moving very, very fast. So I've been busy cleaning up the hard drive. So that I will have maximum hard drive. International Space Station will be passing at 10:14, Chinese Space Station at 9:47. One thing that I do also that I found makes a big difference is optimizing drives. When you're using a regular revolving hard drive, the old stuff, the old kind, you know about defragmenting the drive. With a solid state hard drive, the equivalent is to optimize it's done, and that allows for much faster storage. We're going to be going with 1/4000th of a second and adjusting the exposure. Of all the programs that I have used, of all the planetariums, or is it planetaria, whichever, Starry Night 8 is the only one that has repeatedly and reliably found the International Space Station in the right place. John, they'll be arriving Saturday for the most part. Yeah, the ISS is going to be bright. It's going to be almost overhead. Let me show you what I have. By the way, 3I Atlas is going to be in the same field of view as Messier 9. So we're going to attempt that. But Starry Night, come on, Starry Night. There we go. This is what it's showing me for the Chinese space station. I'm going to try to get it at 9:47:15. And then that is the orbit of the International Space Station. Let me make it bigger in case you guys do not have your 77-inch TV on. And as I fast forward here, here comes the ISS. So we'll pick the time and slew to the location via right ascension and declination, and then sit there and wait. And we'll see it converging. I will hit the high-speed capture about 15 seconds before and 15 seconds after. It's not as high here, Bill. The highest it's going to get is 45 degrees for the International Space Station. So I'm getting it right above the highest. And the Chinese space station on the other hand is coming very high. It's going to be descending from the zenith straight down on us. I'm going to put a smaller telescope on it as well. I don't know if we can convince Seestar to track but not stack, because I don't want it stacking. DWARF will happily do it. DWARF actually is showing a very nice sky right now. and no moisture on the Skycam sensor yet. I installed a new guide scope on the big scope that should give us better tracking if we can convince PhD2 to work. There is, for example, Altair, and I think I have them aligned nicely, so if I move Altair in the big scope, it's going to show up in the little scope, it'll show up in the big scope. Let's try that. Model, that'll give me the, there we go. Let's see how good we are. There we are, not bad. Hello, Perspicacious. I keep adjusting the Skycam. Actually, it's just a little bit off. I'm going to need to do some aligning of the big scope. That's a new problem which I cannot explain. Big scope keeps drifting until it decides to stop where it feels like stopping. Which does not make for good alignment. Don't know what its problem is. Whenever I move it, it just comes back. So what I usually do with the International Space Station and the Chinese Space Station is pick a good location to try to wait for them. Plate solve at that location. And if plate solve succeeds, we stay there. If plate solve does not succeed, I move by 1 second in either direction and try again. 1 second is a clock second, not arc second. In 1 clock second, it moves a lot. This is the alignment, the pointing model right now. Not too good. Many points are way out that need to be corrected. And the other tricky part is convincing. Nope, not this guy. Stellarium is gonna sit on the bench until we're ready to go for Comets. Thank you. Starry Night. We're gonna convince it to drive the telescope. And that's where it comes in: view, show telescope setup, or telescope control, whichever. Nope, setup. Configure, CPWI, OK. Everything disappears, we have to go look for it. There we go. And connect. And OK. And it shows that it's sitting right here currently. Let's see if it's gonna work with us and allow us to go places. Why is it not labeling the stars? Labels. Show all labels. Merci. Hello, Jacob. Here's the plan for tonight. Chinese space station at 9:47. International Space Station at 10:14. We're going to try to have one of the smaller telescopes on the space station as well to see if we can see it, because there is a high probability. Batting average is not good in terms of how often we capture it on the big scope, because they move the space stations a lot. They keep correcting elevation by burning a little bit of fuel to prevent it from falling down to Earth. And Starry Night appears to be the only one that keeps the ephemeris up to date, so we're going to rely on it. And it's warm in here. Before Zena gets on and tells me what warm really means. Heavens above. Does it drive in ASCOM scope? Because this is what we do here is if I right click on it, it will slew to it. Yep, it did. Haha. And then we go look and see. Yeah, there it is. Okay. (9:08). I usually keep a big clock running. I have in the past forgotten to tune in on time and saw it passing outside my window, which isn't good. So here's the clock. Yeah, I tried to play it solve. The process that I established is I go forward in time. Let me make this a lot bigger. Stand by. What I do is I stop the clock and I go forward in time. (9:47:15) is what I'm looking at, and there is the Chinese space station. And it's nice now to turn off the labels. Blah, blah, blah. I don't want the constellations or the exoplanets. Interesting, it's going to be passing next to 2 comets. But there it is, and what I do is I send the telescope to sit and wait there, and I plate solve to make sure I have the sky correct. And if my PhD 2 decides to work today, then I use that to keep the scope in place. Otherwise, I will rely on replate solving and bank on the fact that it's not going to move much in a few seconds or minutes. There is a GPS Bill 6 here. So that's the objective here. Let's see if we can get the other scopes going. It's dark enough to initialize them. Skycam still good. We're going to keep our fingers crossed. Stargazing, please. And take us to Polaris. Finding object. Jacob, I tried using SkyTrack that is supposed to track the International Space Station, and it works, except it crashes every single time, crashes everything. Object is centered. There it is, thank you. Let's see. Jacob, is there a way to convince Seestar to track without stacking? Because if I don't do anything now, is the target going to stay within sight or just going to drift on me? At 9:47:15, what is in the vicinity here that we can... oh well. Nothing exciting. Stellarium has International Space Station a totally different place. Alright, let's see if it does. Ideally, once we plate solve for this part of the world, let's go there. So we're slowing into the future here. Again. Not enough stars to plate solve on, unfortunately. Gonna have to wait a bit. Let me pull up Seestar Alp. See if it'll talk Seestar into some sense. Jacob, I mentioned earlier that 3i Atlas is right above Messier 9 right now, M9. So we're gonna see if we can put a telescope on Messier 9. Definitely within the field of view of dwarf. Tight fit with the Stellarium, with the Seestar. Telescope. Configure. Seestar. Connect. We are connected and Seestar has gone to Polaris. We're good. We're good. Now we're going to send it places like M9. There is something that just passed through the field of view. Now with a lot of luck with Seestar, we should see M9 at the bottom of the frame.
Object is centered. Preparing for image enhancing.
We may have a good piece of sky here. Quite a few stars. Let's see if it'll play solve yet or if they are still too faint. No, not yet. It only saw 4 sources, so we're going to wait for it to get darker. But this is promising. Perspicacious, they're calling it comet, interstellar comet, because it's coming from outside the solar system. Haven't had chance to plan. Thank you. Haven't had chance to plan mosaic mode with the dwarf to get the entirety of the Milky Way. Yep, there's M9 at the very bottom of the image. And let's see if markup will mark it. Yes, it does. There we go. There is M9. And we're looking for a comet somewhere here. Do not expect to see it. It's still magnitude 17, but we're going to do due diligence and put a scope on it every night. Are we good up here yet? Seven sources, not quite. I was out mowing the trails this morning instead of upgrading the firmware. I have to move a couple of things out of the way, like the clock. Voila. Okay, dwarf, time to go into astro mode. We are in astro mode. Let's move this up and that away. Okay. All right, strange. "11 sources should solve, please." Nope, doesn't want to yet. Okay. How about now? No, 144 sources, that's noise. Cancel. Go darker. And wait a second, a minute. Halfway between the two. That is doable. Skycam is picking up stuff. All right. Plate solving is not working. Hello, Isobig. October 2025 is when the comet will be close, so we'll see. It is moving fast. I'm gonna move by 1 second. I moved 1 second in time. See if the sky is more favorable there for plate solving. Come on. Okay, settings. plate solving. We are using AstroTortilla. $21:30. We only have 17 minutes to get it ready. And the path from my location or your location, Jacob? Yes, it requires a high performance, high-end computer. But Jacob, I still have to plate solve, unfortunately, to make sure we're in the right place. Okay, this is a nice sky. Let's see if this will work for me. Hey, worked. Oh joy. Okay, we are in the right place. The only other question remains, will it plate solve now that we corrected the location? Yes, it did. Okay. All right, let's see what the right ascension and declination are. 1930-57. Okay, astro. Function. Atlas. Where to? Something just passed through. 1930-57. And declination is plus 16, 21, 10. Go to. With a bit of luck, we should see the Chinese space station on the Skycam as well. Foundational engineer, yes, we do. Actually, we tried moving Pluto the other day. We have the ability to move planets as necessary. Bill, you might appreciate that. A whole group of engineers boarded a plane to go to a conference, and the flight attendant announced cheerfully that this plane was designed and built by their students. Every single one of them rushed to the door to get out as fast as they could, except for one older professor who stayed there, relaxed, and stretched his legs. Flight attendant asked, "Aren't you worried that the plane was built by your students?" He said, "Nope, I have full confidence. If my students built it, that thing will not even start." All right, we're gonna go, telephoto. And we don't need to do anything, we just need to sit and watch, wait for it. It is tracking, let's see if we see it. Yeah, I'd like to make, yeah, this is fine. We should be able to see it. We're 10 minutes from passage. Okay, Dwarf, we heard you. Go to success. Just keep tracking. Don't need to remind me every minute that go to was successful. Let's see what PhD 2 is thinking today. There is another satellite passing by on Dwarf. PhD2 appears to be tracking. And if we go to now time, let's go find it. Has not entered the picture yet. It's still under the sky, under the earth. There she is. So at exactly 21:47, we're going to hit the capture. Now that PhD2 seems to be behaving. We should be able to. Yeah, we have under 5 minutes. Don't have time to refocus. So we're going to go with 1/2000th of a second. For the Chinese space station, it's a bit less bright. Than the International Space Station. And I'm going to go with PNG files. The full resolution, RAW 8, color, not that it matters. I'm looking for whatever gives me the fastest capture, and let's go see what it is. Okay, it has risen above the horizon. I'm hiding all labels so we can see the space station, and this is where the telescope is waiting for it. For high-speed capture, yes, PNG is going to be better than JPEG. Three minutes. PhD2 still guiding. Wow, this is nice, thank you. Those two stars are still where they belong. I'm going to leave the gain at 500. and drop exposure all the way to 1/2000th. Minute and a half, and I will hit capture. I hope it's not it. I hope we did not miss it. Something just went through dwarf. There it is. I think they changed elevation on us. We're capturing. There it is. We got it. It's overexposed, sorry guys. Let's see what we got. I don't know what passed through dwarf just a touch earlier. That thing was very bright. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 frames. What I usually try to do is see if there is value in stacking them or not. This is not bad. I mean, it's almost in the middle. Definitely overexposed. Yeah, no point in stacking. It's not an aircraft, Bill. It has more than 2 wings. So let's see. So there it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Bill, I have not been able to. Sorry, my face is in the way. There we go. Let's try again. Not too bad in terms of focus, but too bad in terms of brightness. I have not been able to compute or translate elevation to exposure, because the higher in the sky it is, the brighter it's going to be. Any and all readings of magnitude that various sources give are approximate at best, and they don't tell you at what position they are. But looks like our setup worked. Let's rinse and repeat. 2214, International Space Station coming. How much memory did we use up? That was only 3 gigabytes. By the way, just for reference, the Chinese have been better than the International Space Station in keeping their space station ephemeris published correctly. All right, let's see what ISS is now. No ISS. All right. We said 2214. Let's stop the clock. Stop it. Let's go to 2214. This is where we'd like to. Ooh, it's going through the North Pole, through Polaris. We're going to slew there and see if we can play it solve. And there it comes. Uh-oh. Yeah, guiding stopped because we moved the scope. Sorry. Let's stop it. We'll tell you when to resume. The sky cam is clear tonight, and Polaris is a little bit off. We played solved almost immediately this time. As one stops moving, we're going to see if PhD2 will lock on it. And guide, keep us in the middle, so we don't have to be worried about it. $21.59. Giving the coordinates to dwarfy to happy to go wait there. $29.59.06. Declination is 66.48.52. Let's see what it is. We're going to go now to real time. There she is, coming up slowly. Hi Jeannie, we just captured the Chinese space station. If you scroll back a little bit, you will see it. Now we are getting ready to capture the International Space Station. Good night, Jacob. Thanks for joining us. So, we have 22, we're looking for 2214. There she is, and that's what we're waiting. I'm going to reduce the gain significantly. And then we'll go with 1/4000. See what that gives us. For now, we'd like to still see the stars. PhD2 is guiding, that is good. And I am out of tea. Okay, Jeannie, let's go over the setup since you're still fuzzy. We have the Dwarf 3 waiting for it. We should see it on the Skycam and then on Dwarf 3 before it shows up here. It is still below the horizon. 12 minutes is an eternity. It makes one lap around the Earth in about 90 minutes. So in 12 minutes, it's going to be traveling about 1/8 of an arc of the Earth. Good luck, Bill. Let me know. In the meantime, let's see if Seestar, I don't know why Seestar is so bright. Oh yeah, we're starting to pick up the house. No sign of anything obvious as a comet. While we are waiting, let me go to the transit website and see if we have any transit coming on us. This morning the moon was right above Venus. No transit. Oh yeah. August 2nd, ISS transits the sun at 7 p.m. Okay. That's very, very low. And then August 5th at 3 p.m., 4 p.m., Tiangong transits the sun, goes through the sun. Jeannie, I'm an engineer, electrical engineer. You missed a joke which may be worth repeating. A group of engineering professors were traveling to a conference. They were all sitting on a plane when the flight attendant announced that this plane was designed and built by their students. Every one of them rushed to the door and got off the plane, except for one old professor who stayed relaxed, stretched his legs. The flight attendant asked him, "Aren't you worried to fly on a plane built by your students?" He said, "I have faith and confidence in my students to the point where I know that the plane will not even start." For those of you who may recall the divide by zero problem with the i386, Intel 386 chip, when it had a divide by zero problem, that chip was designed and built by my students. We have 5 minutes. The Perseids meteor shower is underway. Well, unless you're dividing 0 by 0, where the answer is 1, but it was at the firmware level, since you're talking about firmware, the chip itself would crash when there is an attempt to divide by 0. I'm sure if you search AI about the divide by 0 problem with the i386, The ISS has cleared the horizon and it's rising. It's going to be coming close to Polaris. Three minutes. Since it's gonna pass at exactly 22:14, we're gonna start capturing 15 seconds earlier. Already. We're going with 1/4000th of a second. We're gonna capture a minute, but we'll abort the capture once it clears. Okay, Seestar is not happy. So at 22:13:45 we'll hit capture. I'm keeping Seestar busy with M15 just to get it out of the way. 45 seconds to capture. This is still guiding nicely. Twenty seconds. There she is on the Skycam. Starting capture. It went straight through Polaris. 5 seconds. Yes! We got it again. Right now I don't touch anything because the computer is moving the frames from high-speed RAM to the hard drive. By the way, that machine, I designed it specifically with the max possible high-speed RAM, so it has buffers for about 3000 frames if needed. So this time it captured 951 frames. Looking out of the window, I can see it. It's right there. Okay, let's see what we have. ISS. Okay, we need to go bigger. Where is it? Okay, let's do it systematically. There she is. Less overexposed, but not pretty. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 frames. Okay, double success tonight. Not pretty, but we did it. Okay, let's get back to work. We have a telescope that's guiding nicely. Yeah. Okay. I'm open to suggestions as to what we ought to be looking at. I want to go back to C2025K1 with the big scope. I don't know if Starry Night has it or not. It does. Shouldn't be too far. Where are we? Okay, this should be very doable. C2025K1. Okay, that's what's that? Don't tell me clouds. No. We played solved successfully. So as soon as it stops moving, we will lock on auto guide and start stacking. Now we'll turn off the guiding because we are auto guiding. Ooh, not pretty. So Seestar is doing what Seestar does best. Calder 12, which scope, Bill? $11 by 9 minutes. That will be Seestar. It is obvious that we have a galaxy on the Edge HD on the C11. Sorry, Comet, not galaxy. We're going to let it draw itself out. In the meantime, I've been trying for the past 3 times to get M31 on DWARF. This is a plane, Bill, flying overhead. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, excuse my rambling over the past hour or so, but we sought to capture the Chinese space station and the International Space Station. We did both. The setup was not trivial to pull together. We used 4 pieces of software, and thanks to ASCOM, they were all able to talk to each other. We're going to go 15 seconds 64K as the default, and we're going to capture. So we use CPWI, which is Celestron's planetarium to drive their telescopes, and for what it's worth, I'm using an old version of CPWI that's no longer supported because it's the only one that works. Let's see if I can turn Seestar around. So we can see it slightly better. There we go. This means there is no more room for my pretty face. And for some reason the sky cam is starting to look dull. Ooh. Okay. Need to turn on the anti-do. There we go. We have a mechanical, actually we have a heat tape wrapped around the C11. Now you can see the comet there, correct? I have no idea where this light is coming from, but it's there. So there's the comet. C2025K1. Now the big scope working and guiding, I'd like to look for some of the smaller nebula out there and try to pick one of them. I don't know what's out there right now. We could look for the other 3 comets that we were unable to see the other day with the Seestar. Okay, this one success. We can end the life stack. So C2023 C2. There it is. Okay, we need to stop the PhD2, otherwise it's going to complain. C2, go there. Plate solved successfully. As soon as it stops moving, we'll put PhD2 to guide it. Okay. Looks like we're losing the sky. Astrospheric says sky is clear. Fire and smoke map. It says smoke. Ah. We are covered by, interesting, this is smoke originating from the western US, looping over Canada and dropping back on us. Oh well. Let me see if I can show you the map. There we go. So the reason we are not seeing too many stars on the Skycam is Canadian smoke. Looks like we have a bug in DWARF. It keeps telling us go to success, even though we're happily stacking. And the cloud bands are showing beautifully in M31. Ladies and gentlemen, station identification, you're watching the Pompey Observatory. And if you had any doubt that this is the only YouTube channel that carries 4 telescopes live in 4K resolution at the same time, capturing satellites, nebula, galaxies, everything at the same time, comets, then there you go. We may be seeing a comet on the C11 here. Hi CGD, you missed successful captures of the Chinese space station and the International Space Station. C2023 C2 Atlas. We just looked a few minutes ago at C2025 K1, and that looked nice. This one is magnitude 15 and change, so we're gonna sit on it for a little bit. The way I can tell that the SkyCam is suffering from the atmosphere and not from the sensor being covered by water is the Big Dipper looks very bright and clear. and the trees are very visible. And Arcturus is due west right now, that bright star. Dwarf suddenly lit up. It does such a nice job with Andromeda. We're only 59 frames stacked. A very long time ago, when I was still using Canon 50D cameras, and I think it was a 4-inch Celestron. Andromeda was the first galaxy that I tried to stack manually with the Deep Sky Stacker. So much easier now and so much nicer. Bill, I just looked to see if we have another pass, and it will be in the shadow of the Earth. Yeah, as soon as it crosses the meridian, magnitude goes to 17, which is Stellarium's way of saying na 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 na. Bill, are you able to see a comet on the big scope? So that's the difference between an 11-inch scope and a 2-inch scope. We could not see that with the 2-inch scope. Nobel, the interstellar, has crossed the meridian and is behind the house. This is a regular comet that was detected by Atlas in 2023. Okay, next comet is 2024 J3, if we can get it. Yeah, there it is nicely, okay. Unfortunately, the eastern sky right now is empty, not much in it. Yeah, let's see if we can find 2024. Yep, there it is, 2024 J3. And let's see if we... Oh, okay, never mind. We're staring straight into the wall. 2022 E2. Okay. Solved very quickly. I already see it. You see the annoying go-to success that keeps flashing. No idea why DWARF is doing that now. Looks like forecast for tomorrow looks good. We have an ISS pass at 9:25. The Chinese space station is a no-go tomorrow. Arcturus is still escaping the smoke. We're going to stop C12. We have been on it for half an hour. We're going to try to enhance it first. And then I plan to hop onto dumbbell with both scopes. Not much difference. Okay. I see a plane outside my window, Bill. It looks like it was inbound to Syracuse. Okay. Stop tracking. Stop stacking. Oh no. It appears that we are staring inside the dome of the scope. Yep. Okay, M27 is too high. Yep. Thanks, Bill. Let's see if we can adjust the colors here. These are real colors that try to make the stars white. This is really what we are seeing. I'm going to let it stack for a while to see how many more stars will show up, as long as the middle is not totally burned out. Let me see what I can do with M27, if we can blow it up to the full page for a second. This is only 9 minutes on M27. Let's see who else is visiting us tonight. Where is the moon? The moon doesn't rise till 3 a.m. 2:48. On the other hand, Saturn is just rising now. So we'll go visit Saturn as soon as it's high enough. Problem with Saturn now is that it is edge on with the rings. Very edge on. So right around midnight we'll hop onto Saturn for a little bit. And then get some sleep. We're going to challenge Seestar with M57, and the reason I say challenge, it's a bit high, and Seestar, after they did the latest upgrade, does not like to go high.
Finding object.
See, there is Zenith, and there is Ring Nebula, and Vega halfway between them.
Object is centered.
It looks tiny. That's why I wanted to do to the big scope. Let's see if we can do justice to the ring. That is the Ring Nebula. Sorry about the sausage making. Or in the case of vegetarians, sorry about the falafel making. It has stopped stacking. Actually, it did not stack a single frame. This is looking live on M57. It just doesn't like to work when something is overhead. Okay, I'm open for suggestions for the next half hour or so on Seestar. Yeah, M31 is looking nice. DWARF does a good job with it. Okay, it's not stacking. I'm gonna drop it a little bit lower, see if it'll find and stack C33.
Please level your Seestar.
Why now?
Find an object.
So we have been operating Seestar without any problem for the past 3 hours. And now suddenly it says that it's off by 2 degrees. Which, by the way, it is not.
Object detected. Starting hazard.
Oh, stop it, stop it, stop it. I don't know why for something like that it did not select the filter. Alright, let's try again. So there is M2. I'm going to stop M2 here. Quite a few comets showing up here. I don't know if they are bright enough to be seen. We have Saturn. It's only 2 degrees up. Yeah, it's very hot. It's going to be a little while before we can see it properly. By using the guide scope, it's going to keep Saturn centered at Mosaion. It's going to be a few hours before Saturn looks decent. Okay, I'm back. I'd like to give Andromeda M31 another 10 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to go downstairs to the big scope and test the atmospheric dispersion corrector that I installed on it. You can see from Saturn that there is bluish greenish on the top right and very reddish at the bottom. So with a lot of luck, the ADC should cancel out those colors. But to do that, I will go back to the full, hello? Ah, okay. Full screen. And the auto guider should not be affected. When I move the ADC or the focuser, the target moves. However, the guide scope is not going to be affected, so it'll keep guiding even though Saturn is going to move a little bit on us. But I want to see if I can change that green and reddish and then turn off the big scope. So I'll be away from my audio, literally 2 floors away, but I shall be back. Audio off for now. Okay, I'm back. You may have noticed that SharpCap has a utility to provide feedback on the ADC, the atmospheric dispersion corrector. Unfortunately, the reddish part would just not go down. Most likely because we were at such low altitude still. So as we are tomorrow, I wish you all a good night. Thanks for joining me. We had some fun, we had some success, and Andromeda looks gorgeous. And I don't know why it keeps telling me go to success. We successed on the go to a long time ago. So there's Andromeda. All the detail in there is just incredible for a $400 telescope. At least that's what it was then. Okay, so I wish you all a good night then, and we will see you next time. We'll very likely be back live on Wednesday, if the weather holds. Good night, Alan. Good night, Jeannie. Good night, Bill.